Alright, I'm back with another video. Alright, so this one here, I have this diagram that I drew, and so we're gonna start from inwards and we're gonna work outwards throughout the diagram. So in the center here, we have a diagram or a circle that is labeled billion. So this is representative to, this is representative to a billion people, right? And when we're talking about on the scale of the planet, like population, and this is like a billion, right? So, and then as we start to go out, it goes from a billion to a million to 1,000 into tens, right? So just to kind of show you the scale, and at the very outer rim, and notice that there is no circle around this one. It's called the one, right? You have one, tens, thousands, millions, billions, right? So just to kind of go on that spectrum, I have some notes off to the side to kind of other examples of how this diagram can apply, right? So jobs, right? So you have billions, billions of employees, right? You probably have like a billion employees for some type of company like McDonald's, right? All across the globe, you have like a billion. And then, well, the number itself doesn't really matter, but think of it like job title or job status. As you have like employee, and then you have like store manager, and you have like region manager and state manager and shit like that. Or you could take the government and be like mayor, governor, and then senate, shit like that. So jobs and corporations, just like the standings and how you move up, and that there's many employees, fewer managers, fewer and then fewer like CEOs, and then you have the owner, right? As you go up, the owner, that's the one, the creator, right, of who made that company. And so moving on, then you have like social media, right? So you have followers, right? You have billions of followers. You take the one, who may have a couple tens of followers, right? Then thousands of followers, and millions of followers, and billions of followers. But all that energy is contained under one person because they have all these followers. And you can think about it like that. Yeah, social standings, which is like billions of people that's poor, billions of people that's lower class, thousands of people that's middle class, and then tens of people that's upper class, and you have like the one who's rich or wealthy, right? And then even thought process. So this comes to the hive mind of how people think they should dress. You have billions of people dressing the same, which is over exaggerated. It's like a hyperbole, but I'm just showing you the concept of how it's so contained and confined, but it's so much contained and confined energy that it's almost suffocation in that space. And as fewer people are there, the space starts to expand, right? And the fewer and fewer people that are there within that space, and the more the space expands, the more energy is there, the more ideas are there, the more opportunity is there, right? And once you become the one, you have access to the infinite. There is no boundary on you. There is no limitation. There is no finite on you, right? So we need to upgrade your thought process and stop thinking the way everybody think, and go outside the box. And really, once you realize that you can go outside the box, destroy the box, because the box is just a confined space of the infinite, and you are infinite. So you should not ever think about confining yourself in a finite space, because then you limit your ability to access the infinite within your own infinity. You feel me? So what I'm getting at is the collective mind gets smaller the more it expands, right? Smaller circle, more people. Big circle, less people. Simple words, layman's terms. Finite until you become one. You're gonna stay confined, you're gonna stay contained until you become the one, right? And how do you move to different levels? How do you move between these, right? So depending on what space or world that you're dealing with, it could be your access or your experience, or it could be your information that you hold, or it could be the relationships that you have with people or yourself. It could be any type of spiritual belief that you hold. excuse me, but it could also be your mind. There, you know, and to really be honest with this question, I don't fully know the answer myself. It's mainly just an idea or a thought form that I wanted to express on my whiteboard, right? So to continue with my notes on the side, eventually you want to break out of the hive mind and develop your own interpretations through experience, right? You want to be able to experience the one. You want to be able to experience being the billion, being the million, being the thousand, being the 10, being the one. You want to experience, you want to go up and down each level and be able to really personify who you are and what you've done, right? And not just take somebody else's experience as your own. So the one does not have to be alone. One can exist on all levels, right? Because the one, and this is very simple, it's just math, but it's one way to convey this idea, right? but to have billions, you need one. A billion is just a billion ones. You feel me? You got to have 10, you need 10 ones, right? To have 1,000, you need 1,000 ones. You feel me? You need the one. You cannot have the billion without the one. That's facts, right? So just because you become the one and you have access to the infinite, you also have access to the things that are within the infinite. And this confined space of billion, million, thousands, tens is just a confined space of the infinite. You'll always have access to that. You can always go on any level and you can always interact with anything. Right? And one can meet with other ones or be with the tens all the way to the billions. So that's kind of what I'm saying. You can also meet other people that are the one, right? Because that's how you make tens. It's just a bunch of ones. I didn't draw them, but if I were to draw them, it would just be more people here that are the one. And once you know, but they are the one because they have broken out of being the tens, right? And then so just because you are in the billions, and also just because you are in the billions doesn't mean you aren't the one. And I want people to remember that for sure, man. Because just because you here doesn't mean you not this, right? And that's facts. 1 billion to 1.